may I present to you Therocephalians. Before we talk about Therocephalians, let's first talk about how we know about them. Oh hey look, it's Richard Owen, the guy who coined the term dinosaur. But what is he doing here? Well, he was the person who first discovered Therocephalian fossil in South Africa. However, he mostly just gave a description of the fossil he found and named it. Someone else would be the one to shed true light on this clade. Behold, a British South African medical doctor. Also, he's a paleontologist. This is Robert Broom, the guy who classified Therocephalians during a study comparing the Rhapsidae from the United States and South Africa. His research created the baseline that researchers after him were able to build off of and more accurately define this clade, which, now that many more have been found throughout southern Africa, China, Russia, and Antarctica, today another paleontologist who does research on Therocephalians is Adam Huntenlocker, an assistant professor of integrative anatomical sciences who, out of the 16 studies I used for this presentation, was part of 5 and cited in others as well. Of course, there are many more, but let's see what their research tells us. Behold, a nice and simple phylogeny tree. Let's take a closer look at what we're focused on. You can see Therocephalia split right here, and on the other side is Cynodontia, our ancient ancestors, so we're related to these crazy creatures. Can you see the resemblance? Unfortunately, we will never know how similar we look to them, as they would succumb to the PT extinction and continuously decline until their extinction in the late Triassic. A Therocephalian sits down at a bar. The bartender asks, "Why the long face?"
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Anyways, Therocephalians, meaning beast heads, had large skulls, hence the name. 5 digits with a 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, I think I did that right, phalange setup, just like ours. Take a look at your hand. Notice your pinky, your ring finger, your middle finger, and your pointer all have 3 bones. Meanwhile, your thumb has 2. That's basically how theirs was set up. They also had a secondary palate, which, well, what was that used for? Well, I'm glad you asked. Basically, it separates the nose from the mouth. Well, what does that mean? Well, I'm glad you're still asking questions. It means that they are able to chew while still being able to breathe. Well, what does that matter? Okay, I'll tell you, just slow down with these questions. Jeez. That means you can spend more time chewing since you won't have to worry about breathing, and that is a sign that these creatures either are on their way to warm-bloodedness or already there. They also had lumbar ribs, which are ribs that follow down along your spine. Our ribs end here, while theirs end all the way down here. And their teeth consisted of incisors and canines, some sharp old boys. Due to their teeth, it's pretty confident to say Therocephalians were carnivores, which depending on their size, it could have been insects scurrying on the ground or any animal that would find themselves unlucky enough to be seen as prey by one of these beasts. They would walk around on all fours, and their limbs were more underneath than out, likely not fully erect, but close enough I'll give them a good try sticker. Taking a look at their skulls and taking a measurement along the length and width help hypothesize how they were built, and using these methods show their sizes kind of all over the place, pretty similar to that dog's, coming in all shapes of sizes, ranging from about the size of a chihuahua to as big as like a mastiff, maybe even bigger. Life in the Permian was very hot, as deserts were taking up a good amount of land around the equator, meaning further north and south climates were warmer than what we imagine today, and more like a tropical region. It makes sense when you notice that Therocephalians are found in mud rocks formed due to high amounts of rainfall. Their environment may have experienced monsoons to amplify this effect as well, since they were alongside the colliding of continents forming a lot of mountains. Really makes sense as to why this is the main rock found containing these fossils. Something interesting to note is they are some of the first animals to develop saber teeth, not to be seen again until millions of years later. But why? Maybe it's due to larger animals that weren't able to run as fast or possibly easier to take out. Completely speculative. Tough to say, as not everyone agrees on the use of these scary chompers. There has been speculation that at least one Therocephalian may be venomous. Long story short, probably not. It was only due to many years of interpreting a specific image that this hypothesis was created, and is pretty much seen as a oopsie translation. As this presentation ends, let me tell you about their end. Imagine being one of the best predators of your time, seeming like you're going to take off even more when all of a sudden, bam, biggest extinction event Earth has ever seen. Now imagine making it through that and struggling to survive, and then bam, there's a second wave. But we ain't done yet. As you're holding on for dear life, bam! Outcompeted by early dinosaurs, and you go extinct. That's all I have for this video. Feel free to ask questions. Thanks for watching.